Hi, welcome to the Popular Podcast. My name is Philip. First things first, let's check the mailbag. Tim L. asks, if you woke up and discovered you had transformed into a cartoon, how would you test your physical limitations? Would you try hurting yourself to see what happened? I think I would start by walking into a low ceiling and seeing how long the pain lasted. If a bump formed on my head, I'd see if I could push it back in. If everything seemed okay, I'd try hitting myself in the face with a frying pan. It would probably hurt, but I bet there would be no permanent damage. I'd go downtown to see my doctor to find out if she thought I had suffered a concussion. I bet she and her colleagues would have some follow-up questions for me since I'm now a cartoon. So while all the doctors are off in another room discussing their next course of action, I'd sneak out. There's no way I'd have gotten a concussion. I'm invincible. Nothing can truly kill a cartoon. I'd run up to the roof and run off the building. When I got to the bottom, I'd be able to peel myself off the pavement and walk it off. But when I jump off the building and fall down to the street, I'm really dead this time. It turned out I was a sad indie film cartoon and not a classic children's cartoon. Anyway, what do you think you would do if you woke up as a cartoon? Hi Tim, I don't know. Thanks for your question though. Okay, next it's time to get out our ladders to prepare for another exploration of the decadent world of tile shingles. Sorry, I should probably take this. Hello?
Hi, is Philip there?
This is he.
Oh, hi Philip, it's Philip.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. Hey, did you ever figure out what happened to the outdoor umbrella?
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
I mean, do you know why it blew off the patio?
Well, yeah, it was windy, and it got windy enough to pick up the umbrella and blow it off the patio.
Well, did the stand blow over as well? Isn't it pretty heavy?
Yeah, the stand stayed in place, but the pole and the umbrella got lifted.
Did the screw holding the pole in place come loose?
I'm assuming that's what happened. Marie's the one who put it back together, so I'm sure she tightened it back in. I was in the shower when all this was going on.
Oh yeah? Did you use shampoo, conditioner, or both?
I was actually just rinsing off, so I didn't use either.
Oh, huh.
So, was there anything else that you needed?
No, I think that's it. Just wanted to make sure there wasn't anything else wrong with the umbrella.
No, it should be fine now.
Okay, I'm glad to hear it. I'll talk to you later.
Alright, bye.
Bye. Oh hey, don't forget to use that conditioner.
Sorry about that. We should probably just keep things moving. I recently had a dream that, with the internet's help, I'd like to try and analyze. It's time for dream analysis. Let me set the stage for my dream. I was in a grand old house, lined in dark polished woods. It was warmly lit, and at the time of my dream was the location of a jam-packed party, the type of high-class affair that I'd only be a part of in a dream, partly because it was taking place in what looked like the 1920s. Everywhere you turned there were cliques of well-dressed people, and maybe some people-like creatures. They were huddled along staircases and landings overlooking the floor below. Some attendees were masked, others had thin mustaches, some were wearing hats. It sounds creepy, but it really wasn't. Maybe just a bit debauched. As for my look, I wasn't aware of my own appearance. I was really just gliding through the scene. Okay, so let's break this down. I was in a large mansion, so let's see what the internet says about that. Dreaming about a mansion can signify your lofty goals. It might mean that I feel above everyone else and I want to be isolated. So I guess it means I think I'm better than everyone and I want to isolate myself by going to a party. And speaking of party, well, if it's a costume party, it suggests that I'm trying to escape the demands of real life. I want to enjoy life and forget about my everyday responsibilities. That sounds like a fun party. Okay, so let's move to the next part of the dream. I should mention that at some point there stopped being people there, and the house transformed into a more woodsy kind of cottage, containing a large open room with a loft space that I somehow got up into. Let's see about being in a cottage. So a cottage can represent comfort, serenity, and it means that you prefer a quiet, simple life. It might also represent a means of escaping the responsibilities and problems, blah, blah, blah. Alright, that again. Okay, the next part of the dream was my favorite. In the loft were several chests or trunks on the floor, maybe even a deacon bench covered in a quilt or something too. But what was on top of the trunks really interested me. Cookies! On each trunk were 2 or 3 large cookies, like saucer-sized, where you could really see the candy-coated chocolate chunks in them. They looked great. I wasn't reaching down to eat them, but as I formlessly glided toward and got near them, they would disappear. Not like they were going away, but more like I was collecting them, like you would collect coins in a video game by running over them. Anyway, I collected several cookies. So, the trunks mean old memories, hopes, old emotions. It can indicate issues and feelings that I haven't dealt with. Really, I think that those trunks just made a nice surface to hold the cookies. And the cookies represent my guilty indulgences. This must be where my dreams get more literal, because when I think of guilty indulgences, cookies might be the first thing that I think of. Well, I think that covers what I remember from the dream. So all told, I've learned that I like cookies, I should avoid parties, and I want to avoid my everyday responsibilities. Well, so thanks for joining me as I uncover this very new, deeply hidden, unexplored part of my subconscious. This has been Dream Analysis. Dear Diary, the other day I was running some errands, it doesn't matter where, and I went to park my car in a parking lot. I saw an open space that was close to the storefront, and just as I was about to park in it, I realized that the car next to this vacant spot was the same make and model as my car. The only difference was the color. I decided to pass up the spot and ended up in an empty space further away and less convenient to get to and from. I just don't like seeing 2 of the same car parked next to each other. It somehow seems cheesy. On top of that, I was afraid that if I had parked there, I might have encountered the person who drove it, and one of us might feel the need to make a comment about how similar our cars were, like, nice ride, or for a second there I thought I was seeing double, or twinsies. If I had said any of those things, I'd never forgive myself. I didn't ever see who was driving that car, but I'm glad I didn't park next to it. Until next time, your friend, Philip. Before we wrap things up, it's time for household tips. These days, a lot of people use clothes dryers and hair dryers, and even hand dryers. But there's nothing like some good old-fashioned sunshine to dry off a towel or a shirt, or even your head. So here's the tip. The next time you decide to dry something off under the sun, be sure to bring it back inside before it starts raining. Okay, that'll do it for another Pop Filler. Thanks for listening, and remember, you'll be fine.